I'm going to start a new series. Uh,
Okay.
I took one class I took was on double doodles, but the other class, which was 3 days, was something we call vision circles. And I think that Brain Gym is really about learning and being ready to learn. And vision circles is about our vision in all the ways we think of that word. It is about
Mm.
it is how I improved my eye vision before I got cataracts. I dropped 0.75 correction, and then I got cataracts, and now I have, the artificial lenses, so it doesn't affect it in the same way. Do either of you have, or have you had cataract surgery, either of you?
Both eyes.
Uh-huh. So you now have 20/20 vision, but have to use glasses to read?
Uh, yeah, to read anything up small and close. Distance is good,
Yeah.
but if it's up close, I can read it, but if I put glasses on, it's a little more clear. Like I just buy the cheaters from the store, the 1.25 or something, and they work just great.
Yeah.
And
I haven't had luck with those, so I'm doing prescriptions, but I also have some astigmatism, so.
mm,
So that was just kind of information for me, but it's also about like our vision for our life. It's about, you know, vision of ourselves, the way we look at others.
mm,
It's vision in the big sense of the word. And um, so there are these 8 vision circles, and I thought we'd sort of cycle through them during the next, actually, I think 3 months. Another thing that happened is that there were other people who took this course, including a woman who's in her 70s, who had never done brain gym before, who was a psychologist in her working life and is a lovely, lovely person. And I've invited her to join us, but I haven't given her the link yet. Just didn't have
good.
a chance to get that information together. But I'm going to invite some of those people to come to the class. And
Good.
if
Excellent.
you know anyone else that might be interested, please invite them. And so
Hmm.
I'll start the whole cycle next week, but we're going to do some of it today. So you can get a little bit of
Hmm.
a taste of it. And the teacher who came is from France, and she just did such an amazing job of animating. I don't even want to say job. She just did. Um, her teaching was just so inspiring. Um,
Mm.
so um, we're going to start with. So there are these 8 circles, and they are
Mhm.
how we see things, the sense of how we observe things and notice things, that's the
Mm.
first circle, and that's something that we've been all working with from the beginning of working together, right? It's kind of the
Uh,
basic for learning. And the next circle is the resonator, and that's about how we hear, how we listen, how we receive sound vibration in our bodies. And the next circle after that is called the animator. That is how, and I just messed up the order because the the next one is actually the animator after the observer. That's about this. All of these are about the way we relate to space. Vision is kind of the primary way that a lot of us relate to space.
mm.
We see the distance, like Audrey, you've
Mhm.
experienced change from maybe being able to see more the world close to you versus the world away from you. And now you can see the distance really well, but you need some support for
Close up.
work. So, um, The observer is about the space to learn.
Mm.
The animated body is about the space to move and how we relate to space with our bodies and movement. Then, as I mentioned, the resonator, that's the space to listen. Then we have the nurturing world. And this one really spoke to me, and we've talked about this in the past, the space to grow. This is the nurture is how we nurture ourselves through our environment, through the food we eat, through what we see, what we hear. And there are so many ways to nurture ourselves. And one of the things that I found fascinating about this is that we usually say that in utero, the baby is nurtured by the mother. And then gradually after you're born, you learn to nurture yourself. I mean, I've even said a similar thing, that we start receiving it all through the umbilical cord. And then as adults, we have to be able to nurture ourselves. Mommy isn't there to whether it's to give us emotional support when we feel upset, or to feed ourselves, nurture ourselves, or to get the rest we need, it's our responsibility now. Celine the teacher pointed out to us that actually in utero, it's the placenta that is nurturing ourselves. The umbilicus, we are connected to our placenta, which is formed from the initial splitting of when the egg cell is fertilized and it first divides into two cells. One of them becomes the baby and one becomes the placenta. So there is a sense in which in utero, we are nurtured by ourselves. Not, it's
By the cord.
that tube is not from the mother, it's from the placenta. So we actually are, from our conception, there is that origin of the idea of nurturing ourselves. To me, that was just fascinating. And just being aware of, are we taking the time to nurture ourselves? Are we in a space that nurtures us? This had big resonance for me in my life. The next one is the builder, and that's defined as the space to create. So for me, it's kind of like the creator, but how we begin to, as a baby develops, it starts moving and it starts to reach for things in its environment. It starts to manipulate objects to learn what they can do, and then to figure out what they want to do with objects. And that's the foundation for us to be able to create things, to build things. Whether it's, building, for me, it's an interesting word. It's not as broad. The meaning, I don't think, is as broad for most of us as what's intended here, in that, the builder, it could be building a cake. It could be, painting a painting. It could be, making anything, crocheting. It could be building a house. It could be building the jewelry that you were talking about, building teddy bears. Do you understand what I'm saying? This doesn't, you don't have to think about this is what construction guys do. It's how we manipulate objects with our hands. So a lot of that space is about our eye-hand coordination, and how we use our vision with our hands to do things in our life. Then the last three are really interesting as well. The internalizer is about the space within. So the internalizer is about how we bring what we see into ourselves to organize it and make meaning for ourselves. It can be about our self-image. It can be about our intentions. It can be about what do we internalize from the world to create meaning in our lives. And then once we've internalized things, so, developmentally, we develop covert speech, which is speech, internal speech, our thoughts. Once we've done this internalizing of the sensual information that we receive from the world, then we have something to communicate. So the next circle is the communicator. And there's, of course, a lot there. How do we communicate? Do we communicate, with sound? Do we communicate through words? Do we communicate through our eyes, through our facial expressions, through our movement, through our actions? There's a lot of ways to communicate. Artists communicate, arts are generally about communication, and all the different ways artists communicate. So this is, again, a very broad field. When we're talking the vision circles, it's not just a narrowly defined, like vision is not just about seeing something with our eyes. And then the last is the synergist, and that's the sum of the whole, and it's that idea that the whole is the more than the sum of its parts. So in the end, we are more than just adding vision, hearing, moving, creating, communicating, internalizing. That whole together creates, to me, it's about how we live our lives, yes? And so, like most learning, we're going to take this synergy, which is really the result and really what we're after. And synergy means how things work together. We're taking it apart to look at the individual elements. So we're differentiating them for the purpose of bringing them together, not because we want to separate them in our lives, but so we understand more fully and maybe can address areas that we are less aware of, or maybe are not fully utilizing. So,
Dana, do you mind if I review the different circles? First, we observe, then we animate and move, then we resonate, then we nurture, then we are builders, internalizer, speech, communicator.
Please change the speech to communication.
Okay, thank you. And then the final one is, oops, oh dear, speech. Oh, let me just back up to number 6, internalizer.
Yes.
Then I had number 7 as speech, but you wanted me to say communicator.
Communicator.
Okay, so that I just did that wrong. So synergist.
What is it?
SYNERGIST.
Synergist. And that's number 8.
Yeah.
And that's the whole.
Thank you.
Number 6 is the internalizer.
Correct. I've got it. Okay. Well, thank you for that.
I must have said the right word. That's good.
Yes, yes, you did.
We got them all written down, both of us.
Although I've taken this course 2 times before, the first time the teacher and I just did not work very well. And the second time, so this is the first time I really feel like I've absorbed the material. And I just thought, I just finished the class. Well, yesterday we just kind of rested from being a very busy 5 days. Uh, at which, by the way, Brain Gym Canada has got its application ready to submit to be a separate entity from Breakthroughs International in the United States.
Oh,
We're going to be an affiliate of Breakthroughs International, which means we will have the authority and the control over all the Brain Gym stuff in Canada and can create
whoa.
own materials. So you will eventually benefit from that. It will mean new stuff. Eventually, we hope to have it approved by January 1st. And we did a whole photo shoot, so there will be new photos available to everyone in Canada. We're going to make them copyright free. For our members at any rate. And so we'll
Yeah.
have new photographs of all the movements, including the integrated movements that we've been working with for
Oh,
years now,
oh.
but we've never had any official photographs. I might have given you ones of me doing them, but
Yeah.
yeah, they were all
That
taken.
is so good.
They were
Oh,
all taken in Quebec in the late afternoon sun,
and
the
the
gorgeous leaves
leaves,
outside.
beautiful fall leaves.
Yes. And
Very nice.
ever
Very
since
good. How exciting.
yeah, and if you noticed, our Brain Gym logo is the lazy 8 with a maple leaf.
Oh, very nice.
So, which Bob designed, by the way.
Well, that's
Oh,
neat, eh?
nice.
So yeah, we are just so excited. So as I'm saying, this is really new with me. By next week, I will have had some time to kind of organize all this better. But I kind of wanted to do an intro for you about it. So coming back to the observer and our noticing, one of the things that I probably mentioned before is that vision is only 10%. I've even heard as little as 6%, but certainly what was used here is our vision is only 10% in our eyes.
Mm.
The rest of our vision, what we think we see, is constructed by our brain.
Oh,
And there are lots of exercises and or experiences and artwork that shows you that you can actually miss what you're actually seeing physically according to what your brain is predicting or what you're looking for.
uh-huh.
So if we're looking for something in particular, we might miss something. They gave the example, apparently there was something that was going around on YouTube where it asks, it's a soccer game, and it's asking you to count the number of passes. So people watch that, and then you can click
Yeah.
on go and people watch and count the passes. And then the question it asks when you're finished is not how many passes did you see? It's did you notice the gorilla walking through the field?
Oh,
And many
and it was had,
people,
yeah.
some people had done it and they said, yeah, absolutely. I counted all the passes and I had no idea there was a gorilla
The
walking.
gorilla. Too concentrated, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you were predicting that you were going to watch, your brain was predicting that it was passes that were going to happen on the screen. And so it didn't look for a gorilla and it didn't see the gorilla.
Missed all the background.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So we have in vision circles a different form of pace. We call it S pace, which spells space, right?
Oh, yeah.
Reading with space. So I would like to start today. We even have one to replace water, but I need some water after all this talking. So
Water's good.
and then we'll start with the new space or S.
Hmm.
So we've done or I've taught a variation of this. And I'm going to quickly get a chair so you notice it's quite dark. So this is the clover leaf, but we're going to do it, slow it down, and do it with a little more detail.
Okay.
So one of the ideas that Celine repeated every day and in all the circles was the importance of relaxing tension in the body, breathing, and soft focus. So, do you know, does soft focus mean something to you?
Just,
Soft focus means
just
allowing,
nothing.
pardon, Audrey?
Oh, just not concentrating on one thing, just letting things be.
Perfect. Exactly. That's a great definition.
Okay.
Yeah. So, exactly. Just allowing our vision to be open and not reaching for something,
Right.
but just allowing the vision to come in. And usually that means also we have more peripheral
Mm-hmm.
awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for this, it's like we're going to make the lazy eight and then the up and down eight with our nose. So a four-leaf clover.
All right.
So we're going to start really with very small movement. It can even be a micro movement that you could barely see. And the first couple times you do it, really focus on the way the head is balanced on the top of the spine as you do it. You know, we've worked with that. We've looked at that anatomically, so you all know what I mean. We're just think about the balance of the skull on the top of the spine and just very small light movement. And you just keep your eyes focused on a point. So I'm actually just looking actually at my own nose as I, but very small movement and breathing, blinking, and just allowing your body to relax, letting go of any tension as you do it. Kind of a different experience from the energy we've often done it with. And as you feel more ease in your body and your neck muscles, and the movement maybe feels a little smoother, you can start to make it larger. Still moving very gently.
Mm-hmm. Oh, up and down too.
Yes. So it's a four-leafed clover. I should have said that. So we've got an up and down
And
eight,
down.
and then that goes into
Into the side.
sideways eight and back to the up and down eight. Yeah, I know was probably hard to see because I was really doing my best to make micro movements before. So, and you can practice that. You can try drawing it with
Mm-hmm.
your finger if it's a little bit confusing the pattern, to follow. And then eventually,
Mm-hmm.
as you feel relaxed doing this, you can allow your eyes to follow the movement of your head. Let go of watching one point and just let your eyes swing in that four-leaf clover. Always breathing and blinking. So that's the first,
Breathe and blink.
yeah. Breathe and blink is a nice little mantra. If you aren't blinking, you're staring. And that means you're in stress.
Then you're,
And if you're not breathing, you're holding your breath. Which means
a little
you're
stressful.
also in stress. You think for some reason you're underwater and you'd better not breathe. Go ahead and hold your breath underwater, but
Not here.
that's a great idea.
Bring.
Okay. So instead of doing brain buttons, we're going to do the necklace. And to do the necklace, we're going to cross our hands and we're going to start at our brain buttons. And we're just going to massage all along the underside of the collarbone, taking our time, loosening up those muscles or massaging those muscles.
This is on recorded, yes? You're recording this?
Yes.
I am.
Oh, okay.
I am. And then, once you get out to your shoulders, we'll just kind of hug our shoulders here and let our head drop into my head doesn't drop into my arms anymore. Some people, can rest their chin on their hands, but we can just let our head droop forward and just take a few deep breaths and just relax. So that's the necklace. The next one we're going to do, instead of cross crawls, we're going to do the swing along, and we really need to do this standing up. So there are two parts to this movement. And the first one is a sideways sway of the hips. Now we've done this before, and Celine calls this also the sexy, the sexy swing along. So we know about, our tailbone shifting our weight from one side to the other, which can be kind of a sexy movement. She also, notices that as you move to one side, the other knee will bend, right?
Yeah.
So there is the way they do the swing along, the way we do the swing along, it has that relaxation of one knee and then the other. So as you move to one side, of course, your weight shifts onto that side, and the other knee can just drop forward to make that kind of sexy movement. Now, our hands are going to go in the opposite direction. So they're going to move toward the side of the bent knee. See, so it's kind of a cross-crawling movement here and then to the other. So the hips are not twisting from side to side. The hips are shifting laterally from side to side, but the arms are, flowing around. For me, it's always kind of a lazy eight or figure eight. And then we can slowly bring our arms up a little more and more until we're kind of doing something similar to what we do in Qigong, to where we bring them up to where they move across our field of vision, and we can just see the hands go from one side to the other. And just allow our gaze to, without, a hard focus, just softly moving from one side to the other. And it can also go back down. So it's kind of a really relaxed, flowing, lazy 8 version. I quite like it. So that's called the swing along.
Mm.
So that's for
Hands and hips.
hands and hips, yes. Okay, and yes. So we are going to do now positive point. Okay. So instead of hookups, we do palming, which was first introduced by Dr. Bates. I don't know if you've heard of him. And Aldous Huxley, the famous kind of writer, philosopher, was cured of his vision difficulties or overcame them with the help of Dr. Bates. And then he wrote the book, I believe it's called The Art of Seeing, which I read years and years and years ago. And this was the basic technique of Dr. Bates, palming. We've done it occasionally when we've done 8s for eyes as a way to rest our eyes afterwards. So we rub our hands to get some warmth in our hands, which is difficult for me to do because I have such cold hands. And we're going to put our hands the way it's taught is the way I've always taught it to you. This way, I noticed in doing that, they point to the fact that our fingers, our palms are resting on our cheekbones, our eyes are closed, the center of the palm is creating a nice darkness that allows our eyes to relax. I've started sometimes doing it without crossing them because I have a better sense of my positive points that way. So I'm going to invite you to do it however it feels comfortable for you. The important point is that your eyes are closed, your palms are gently covering your eyes to keep out the light. You're contacting gently your positive points, and you're breathing deeply. You can rest your head forward into your palms, supporting your head with your palms, if that feels good to you. Just going to see if there was any other points to note about that. Okay, I don't see any there. The last part of our pace, so we have 5 in the S pace section. The last one is called, maybe I'll just sit down so I can get closer. It's called the energy fountain. No, let's stand up. Let's say standing up to do this. Good. You could do it in a chair. So we're going to imagine energy flowing up through the center, like we have we're a fountain, and the energy is flowing up and out through the top of our head. Now, the difference between how this image is created in vision circles is that instead of from the feet, we're going to imagine that the spring or the source is the center, comes from the center of our belly, from our navel. And we're going to imagine that energy flowing up like water in a fountain.
Yeah.
And so we can just, to reinforce that, take our hand and brush up from our belly, up out the top of our head, from the center, from your navel, straight out the top of your head. Can you all get a sense of that?
Yes.
Right. Now imagine that you have a valve in your throat, and you can turn that valve to open. Let's first of all turn it to make sure it's fully open. And you feel that energy flowing up. And then you're going to turn that valve, however you imagine it, to close it, to shut it off. And just sense what that feels like. Do you notice any change in your energy?
It stops here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of stops here.
Exactly. So it's good to actually turn it, practice turning it off and turning it on, so you can start to become aware of when it is shut off and it's not flowing. And then turn it on again, that image of turning it on. You don't have to do the motion. For me, it's helpful to do the motion.
This thing.
And then feel the energy flowing again and how that changes. Any different sensations there? Okay.
Yeah, we are more open.
So it's a little, it's an observation, it's a little experiment, but it's really good to be able to realize we can control that ourselves. So if you feel like your energy isn't controlling, you can think of turning that.
Yeah.
And it's good to practice it sometimes, when we're just being, when we're really observing ourselves, we're taking a pause to notice, so that when we go about our daily lives and we're busy, we can start to notice when we don't have the energy we want, and we realize we can take control. Yes, Patsy.
I heard you say that the last one is 5, energy fountain. So is the first one the lazy 8 in a cloverleaf pattern? Is that the first one?
That is the first one.
Okay, and then necklace, then swing along, then palming, then energy fountain. Thank
Perfect.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
3, 2, 1.
So this is going to be our new pace that we'll practice.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do a little.
Feels good.
Good. Good. Let's do a little noticing. I can't believe how the time is rushing by. We started late, and I apologize for that. So we're going to do the noticing that we've often done in class, but in the past we've been noticing our own bodies, yes? And the connection in our own bodies, the connection of our feet with the floor, our sense of gravity, our sense of balance. Now we're going to do this with our sense of our vision and the space. So I want you to take a little walk with your eyes open, noticing the space around you. What is that like? Now you've done some vision gym. So notice if there's any difference in the way you're seeing your world, your space, your room. And then take a little walk around with your eyes closed. And then come back and open your eyes. And another thing we've done many times, shift your weight, balance on one foot. Notice what that's like. What is your vision like as you're balancing? Do you still have soft focus? Can you see the whole room? Or are you staring? Are you holding your breath? Are you?
Both.
And if you're brave, try it with your eyes closed and notice what happens.
No balance.
Okay, and then try it on the other side. And notice again your breathing, notice your vision. Can you blink? Can you breathe? Try it with your eyes closed. Okay. Then just simply two questions. Be aware of your body,
Mhm.
and then be aware of the whole room that you're in. So just noticing
Oh,
the difference
cluttered.
in
That's
awareness.
strange.
Pardon?
I said it's a very cluttered, messy room right now.
Okay. Okay. Well, next week, no, I'll still be here next week. Yeah. Next time I do it from home, you can look at my home and think, oh, my room is really quite spacious. And okay. I mean, your room, you'll feel much.
Right. Does it
Okay.
matter? Does it?
Pardon? Oh, you just froze.
Uh,
Yeah, something happened.
or were they both the same? And then this week, I went into your original link. They're both the same?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're both the same. The links are the same.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh dear. The links are the same.
Oh, okay. I just had the two links and I thought, oh, are they different? Are we, yeah, but they're
No,
the same. Okay.
I've never used another, I mean, not for ages and ages have I used it.
Okay.
Okay, so I think maybe we'll just do one vision gym today, and then we'll repeat the movement from last week with the music.
Mhm.
So we have
Oh, right.
real movement because it is getting on with time. But
Yeah.
this I find is a really easy vision gym and quite nice to experience. You're simply going to inhale with your eyes open, exhale with your eyes closed. Inhale with your eyes open, exhale with your eyes closed. Oops, I did the wrong thing. I knew I was.
Oh,
Okay. Exhale with your eyes open, okay? As you exhale, open your eyes. Inhale, close your eyes. Exhale, open your eyes. Okay, and now I realize how I need to remember that so I don't screw it up. We're wanting with all of these vision gyms to relax our eyes as much as possible. We know that the more relaxed we are, the more we can take information. The more stressed we are, the less information we can take in. So we want to exhale, which produces relaxation in the body as we open our eyes to see. And we want to close our eyes as we inhale to take in energy. So let's just try that a few times. Exhale, open your eyes, and inhale, close your eyes. So again, as we exhale and open our eyes, we're opening our eyes to allow the vision in, closing our eyes to exhale. So sorry, closing our eyes, and then we
Inhale.
taking in oxygen. As we exhale, we open our eyes with relaxed vision, not trying to stare at anything, not trying to really, we're not going to use effort. We're not going to try to see. We're just going to let whatever vision comes in, come in. And then you can start, once you get that rhythm going, inhale, close your eyes. Exhale, open your eyes. Inhale, close your eyes. As you exhale, you can allow your eyes to blink. Really, really let them blink. Encourage them to blink. So you're creating almost like a strobe effect. So you just have those little glimpses of vision. You can even move your head around as you do that. So the vision becomes like that strobe effect, and you're just getting little bits of vision. You don't have time to really focus on anything. So we're creating that soft vision. It's called heliotropic breathing. So I'm bringing up music, which I had. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Dana, I'm sorry that I have to leave. I would
Okay.
like to stick around, but I'm a busy lady today. So do stay enjoying your time in Quebec, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Super.
Bye,
Thanks so
Patsy.
much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Do you want to do the movement together, Audrey?
I'm pretty clumsy at it. Not really.
Okay. I'll tell you what, then let's just do a little bit of Qigong in silence.
Okay.
And as you're doing the Qigong, just practice the soft vision,
Mhm.
so focus on your vision as you're doing it. Focus on, shifting from awareness of your body, awareness of the space,
Nice.
focusing, seeing the space with soft vision, blinking. Okay. And we'll just
Okay.
do 2 of the movements together with the focusing on our vision. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll start the usual way. It can be quite a different experience if you're
Just
focusing,
quiet.
being aware of the space that you're in. Feeling your body, but sensing the movement, or sensing the space all around you. Sensing the space behind you as well. You could play with the idea of having eyes on the back of your body. Maybe the eyes are on your shoulder blades. Maybe they're on the back of the head. And what is that experience like? moving on to the next movement. We're reaching out into the space with our fingertips. Could your fingertips have eyes in the ends of your fingers that are seeing the space, then seeing yourself, seeing the space, noticing yourself. Are you maybe seeing part of that whole kinesphere? Remember the idea of our own movement sphere that we inhabit, like a crystal ball around us or something, whatever feels good to you. An enormous crystal egg. And now we're going to step out to the side. And now our fingertips are making a great rainbow through the sky. So maybe the eyes in our fingertips are looking down at the floor and up to the sky, and the other one is looking through the sky down to the floor. You could imagine that. And as your fingertips paint that rainbow through the air, then maybe you can follow that rainbow with your eyes from one hand, the pot of gold at one end of the rainbow, to the pot of gold at the other end of the rainbow. Up, around. What does it feel like to allow your head, to move so that your eyes can follow that around? Maybe it, might challenge your balance a little bit, but just notice what that feels like to follow the rainbow around from one side to the other. And then bring your feet together. So here we have our energy fountain. Maybe you can even open that valve wider. And are we still blinking and breathing? And still sensing the whole room and not just staring at a point in front of us? And then as we move on to the next movement, here we have another rainbow coming around one side of us, and then a rainbow coming around the other side of us. You could focus on eyes in your fingertips, or your fingertips as paint brushes. You can follow the traces of that paint through the air with your eyes as you move. And as your body turns from side to side, maybe you have eyes in your shoulder blades that are seeing the opposite side and swiveling around the back side of you. And then as the hands come together in the front, we'll finish with this big circle. Goes down to the ground, open to the sky, curving over to the ground, open to the sky. Can you sense the space around you? Maybe the space is moving your body. Supporting your back to arch upwards, supporting the front of your body as you arch downward, like a gentle cushion, supporting your movement. And breathing and blinking. And then let's reverse and finish reaching up. And finish.
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a nice bit of stretch at the end.
So we'll
See you
okay.
next week, and you'll be home next week, eh?
No, I will be
No?
here.
Oh, that's good.
It will be at the same time. I believe if there's any change, I'll let you know
Okay.
ahead of time. We'll be pretty organized by that time. It'll be my last day here. And then the next one will be in Calgary, but it will be a half an hour later.
Oh, okay. So, well, have a great time while you're there and just take it all in. Enjoy it too. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of nice to be away and do new things and learn new things. And
Yes.
yeah. So,
It's been an exciting, wonderful, fulfilling time. So
yeah. Well, it was a great class. And thank you. And we'll see you next week then.
Yes.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Pretty good.